Before I continue discussing the markets, please take this moment now with helping me and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click subscribe. Click this bell. Click all. This helps you receive a notification when I post my next videos. Next, click the thumbs up button every time you watch my videos. Okay, let's continue with the view of the markets. In this video, I'm going to discuss interest rates, equity indexes, and financial stocks. And if you haven't already, subscribe if you're new. Plus, give this video a thumbs up below. Thank you. First, we'll be looking at the yields and treasuries. This is a 1-year grid, and each candle is 1 week. So 30-year yields. Typically, when the yields go higher, that puts pressure to raise interest rates. So yields go higher and treasuries go lower. Inside candle for the week, also inside consolidation. But each of these consolidations has been building staircase pattern higher, putting pressure to raise interest rates. Looking at the 10-year, similar to the 30-year. Inside candle, inside consolidation, and the prior consolidations creating staircase pattern high. And the 5-year, inside candle, indecision, big tight consolidation. So the top 3 were the yields, and they're showing again staircase pattern high, which is again putting pressure to raise interest rates. But the Federal has not done yet. They said they would leave interest rates alone. They say one thing, and they could change that decision. They have monetary policy meetings, I think it's 4 times this year, and sometimes they're having more often. So now we're looking at the treasuries. We're looking at the 30-year treasuries called a bond. Remember, the treasuries trade inverse. They go the opposite. So when the yields are going higher, we have the treasuries going lower. For the week, inside candle, indecision, inside consolidation. The prior consolidations were forming a staircase pattern lower low to also put pressure for interest rates to go higher. Look at the 10-year, inside candle for the week, inside consolidation. The prior consolidation was up here, staircase pattern lower low. And this is a key demand zone. Buyer stepped in here before. See if it gets retested again in the weeks, days ahead. And if it breaks below that, look at the 5-year treasuries. Much different. It's hanging around the highs of the year. Where when we're looking at the 10-year, closer to that bottom demand zone, and the 30-year trending down. So big contrarian from the shorter duration to the higher duration. Big mixed signals. Be very aware of that. Apparently there's more interest in the shorter term treasuries than the longer term. That's not supposed to be how it's supposed to work out. So that means a lot of fear, and people rather stay invested in the shorter duration ones for the unknown, for the long-term commitment. Let's look at the higher duration. Look at the monthly charts. So each grid is 5 years, and each candle is 1 month. Again, we're starting first with the yields, the 30-year. 5-year, here's the highest. Here's the lowest duration. We're much closer to the lowest. But again, the trend is going up. We're inside consolidation. But the trend is going up off the bottom, putting pressure to raise interest rates. The 10-year yields also in a consolidation near the high, which is a supply zone. There were sellers here before. We'll see if it breaks out. I need to set an alert for that. Yep. And the 5-year yields inside consolidation. Now we'll look at the treasuries. Okay, this is a 5-year duration. Each candle is a month. All-time high was this year. And we were in between that. Here's a low, here's a high in consolidation. So a lot of indecision. The monthly candle was indecision and inside consolidation. The 5-year treasury. in exhalation, almost like a flag pattern. This is the pole, this is the flag, and this is considered a bullish flag. We'll see if it's going to break out above the supply zone 140. There were sellers there before. We'll see what happens. And this bottom is a demand zone. And the 5-year treasuries, very close to the all-time high for the past 5 years. So again, we look here. The 30-year, the 10-year, and the 5-year, the treasuries are at their all-time highs the past 5 years, where the yields are at the all-time lows for the past 5 years. Let's go look at equity indexes. Look at the cash equity indexes. First on the weekly, the S&P 500. This is a 1-year grid, and each candle is for 1 week. So we ended the year at all-time high. This is a wedge, these purple lines, and it's a very tight wedge and getting tighter. Inside that building a coil. And when it breaks out, that coil is going to be extreme forceful. In this typical coil you're seeing here, some consider this a bearish coil. What does that mean? They anticipate prices may break down, break out to the bottom and go lower. So that is what I'm watching for, that potential trade idea. Nasdaq 100, the cash index, same thing. 1-year chart, each candle's a week. Building a wedge and that tight coil in there. So it might still go higher, and then have that breakout to go lower. Be very concerned. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, not such a coil, but it did break out of this consolidation at all-time high. We have that gap below there still get filled. The Russell 2000, high for the year, the highest point, strong trend. The Dow Transports, not at the all-time high. It closed back below it. Here's the all-time high, closed back below it inside this consolidation. And the Dow Utilities, all-time high was at the beginning of the year here. And here's a consolidation. We broke below that the past 2 weeks and did a reverse here. Note, the Nasdaq 100, the Dow Jones, the Dow Transports, and the Dow Utility, these 4 indexes are inside the S&P 500 index, where the Russell 2000 is not. And when you look at the glass candle of each of these, notice the color and notice if it was above or below. So S&P 500 closed green for the week. The Nasdaq closed green for the week. The Dow closed green for the week. The Russell 2000 closed red for the week. The Dow Transports closed red for the week. And the Dow Utilities closed red for the week. That's a little clue there where the strength went at the last days of the week. Let's go to the higher time frame. Again, we're looking here at equity index cash, each grid is 5 years and each candle is 1 month. Starting off with the S&P 500. So for the 5 years, we're at an all-time high. Broke out of consolidation. Excuse me. Nasdaq 100, all-time high for the 5 years. Dow Jones Industrial Average, all-time high for the 5 years. The Russell 2000, all-time high for the 5 years. Same with the Dow Transports, all-time high for the 5 years. And the Dow Utilities, we are not at the all-time high. Where it did make an all-time high at the beginning of the year, we are not there. For the monthly candles, the Dow Utilities closed red, all the other ones closed green. Dow Transports made it dodgy. This is an indecision candle. Let's go look at the financials. The Dow Jones and the Russell 2000 are heavily weighted in financial stocks. So first, we're looking at these grids, starting off with the financials. These are 5-year grids. Each candle is a month. American Express, it did make all-time high this year for the duration, but we are not closing at all-time high. That is not strong. There is stronger stock and indexes stronger than the American Express. Bank of America, all-time high was last year, and then we just missed it beginning this year, but we are not at the all-time high at the end of this year. Not so good for this stock. Citigroup, all-time high was the beginning of the year. We failed to take it out. Yeah, not so good. Goldman Sachs, all-time high for the year. We took out the high of the year, and we're almost near the all-time high for the 5 years. So it's stronger than the other stocks. So if you trade financial stocks, right now, this is one of the better ones. JP Morgan, we did not take out the all-time high for the year, which was the beginning of the year. MetLife, we did not take out the all-time high for the year, nor the past 5 years. So the takeaway here is these financials, I would not be in these long on the long side right now. They are not the best. But the takeaway also be aware here is there is one leader among these 6, and that's Goldman Sachs on these. But let's look at the next financials. Yes, I have more because there are other ones to be aware of. Morgan Stanley. We took out the all-time high for this year, and we took out the all-time high for the past 5 years. If you've watched my past videos of financials, I mentioned early on this year, this was one of the leaders. So if you took that information and traded off of that, you've done very well. Uniform Sierra Bravo. We are not at the all-time high for the year, which was here, and the all-time for the 5 years was here. It's struggling. Wells Fargo, all-time high for the year is here. All-time high for the past 5 years is here, way below it. And I did close my bearish position this week. I was trading short, closed for a profit. I'm a happy camper. I think it was a 2 or 3 day trade I was in. They are the most worst performing financial stock in my watch list, Wells Fargo. Bank of New York, all-time high was here. High for the year was here. It is not performing so well. It's struggling. Sierra Tango State Street, all-time high for the 5 years was there. High for the year was there, and it's struggling. PayPal for the 5 years, all-time high. So the leaders are Morgan Stanley and PayPal. Overall, the financial sector is not the sector to be invested in. Invested in, I mean buy and hold for weeks, months, years. No, it's not. It hasn't proven so well. But trading short term, some of them for the past year have been outstanding. Again, my past videos, I told you the strongest ones were Morgan Stanley and PayPal, and they proved that correct. They made all-time highs for the year, and they also took out the all-time highs for 5 years. So good job out of you. Took those trades. I showed those ideas months ago. And the other ones I showed were the weakest ones to short, Wells Fargo. If you like this market information I've shared and want to learn more with greater detail, step-by-step training, I have a Patreon page. I share trade ideas for earning monthly income. Below in the description box, click Show More. Scroll down. This link here, click on it. Take you here to my Patreon page. Select the membership and join. Then you have access to unlock my posts.